And so, yes, we only arrived in Sable a few days ago now, and
Hey, Hesperis, I have a question to ask you about a girl I met. She's... oh.
Hello, Luden. We are not alone. I was just telling our friends here about our arrival in Sable and what we have been up to. Would you like to join us?
Oh, sure. So, last time on Fate's End, So I don't know if Hesperis told you about Cyprian, but I don't like him. And while the party was discussing what we were gonna do about this guy, Samson decided he was gonna go follow him. Now, according to Samson, he just sat there. And Samson watched. For over half an hour.
Just doesn't seem like you, mate. You wanna... And that's really the only thing I can't figure out about you yet. Because people like you don't make mistakes like that. So why?
He looks at... He avoids your gaze this entire time. And then he looks back up at you. And he says, because I haven't spoke to him in over 3,213 years and 118 days.
Once he returned, Samson's attitude had changed. Earlier he had expressed that Cyprian was very dangerous, and so we should not engage with him. Now he is saying that Cyprian was very dangerous, so we should perhaps engage with him. Luden and Urmir thought it best to turn to the Sparrowhawks first, and we all started making our way to bed. That is, Finelai, Prearia, and Samson stayed at the bar for a time, I believe.
We get more. We know more.
Our friends don't want to know more. They made that abundantly clear.
Well, maybe we just have to get more without them knowing.
So that was around the time I decided to contact Kaya. I needed to find some of the Sparrowhawks in the city. I'd rather find them before we trust Cyprian with anything or anyone.
Kaya responds with, We have a small group, and now I can't do an accent and count my words at the same time, I'm sorry. We have a small group stationed at the hidden outpost there.
11.
Commanded by Hennevi.
With the information I needed in hand, I woke up early, grabbed Samson and Urmir, and we left for our destination. The hideout was easy enough to find, but I think I need to work on identifying Sparrowhawk signs a little quicker.
This area, and he'll tell Urmir and Samson to come over. He'll be like, there should be a lever around here somewhere, just in this area. Come help me.
So looking through your book and then pressing that button, you know you can walk through the wall now.
Ooh, yeah.
The wall doesn't, the wall, it still looks like a wall is there, but you know you can walk through it.
And then, so with that, Luda's gonna be like...
You almost feel like some air, just kind of like a puff of air as...
He'll get a little excited because he knows the other two don't know about it. And he'll be like, and he'll just start walking straight through the wall.
You just see like Harry Potter going through like the between platform 9 3/4. He just walks through the wall. You just all watch that happen.
I nonchalantly follow.
Inside, we met someone who I think might be the sanest person we've seen yet.
The other, a fire genasi woman with smooth skin, very subtly kissed with a few freckles. She has flowing, reddish, almost pink, braided hair that pools down to just between her elbows and shoulders. They smolder with embers at the tips. Her ears are pierced with 2 small hoops at the top, and 1 large coin-like earring at the bottom. Her eyes are silver gray, focused, piercing, and adorned...
I love it. Like, and all these people, like they look like my family.
Piercing and adorned with a small stripe of gold eyeshadow.
Yeah. She's pretty great. while all this was going on.
I like to rise with the dawn, and Luden likes to rise. I think he just likes to rise before everyone else, and he does not really mind what that time is. He came to gather Eremir and Samson at I think it was 4 a.m. Prearia and Finlay are they're very kind people, respectful, I think is the word. They saw that I had changed for church, that I wore my vestments and wore no makeup or shoes, and they changed also.
Prearia has stripped down to her like linen underclothes, and she's like undone the like tassels or whatever, like the little, what are they called? The laces or whatever. So it's like as flowy as it can possibly get. Like she's very much trying to go off Hesperis' vibe here, and she has like let her hair down. She's like channeling.
Prearia, you look very beautiful. That is very nice.
As do you. This is appropriate. Yes, yes.
You look lovely. You both do.
Thank you very much.
As
Finn.
do you, Finn.
Finn has all of his braids out. He decided to keep his hair similar to them, all down. And I guess he changed his armor to the linen shirt, the white linen shirt that he had wore at Dusty Anchor, and shorts, I guess.
Oh my god, like the touristy shorts, like the dad shorts that go above
Yes.
your knee and stuff.
like the khaki shorts.
Yes, the dad.
You got your Birks on.
Yeah.
The living terrace is quite different from the temple at Dawn's Rise, but it fills me with the same feeling. The quiet of the place and the eternity that it holds within itself.
You all approach the living terrace. It is larger than the other home buildings, but not that much larger. Probably 3 times the size of an average home. The exterior is similar to that of a greenhouse. You can easily see into the building on one side. The glass exterior allowing onlookers and passerbys to easily gaze within. Outside this building is fairly desolate, and it is a desert after all. The ground is dry and starved of water. You walk inside, and the rays from the gaping chasms above that leak light down into Sable have been harnessed from within this temple. You see where mirrors have been placed to reflect the light all over, and this constellation-like stream of light bounces around the room, hitting these mirrors, like how Egyptians harness light. This natural light, not a single torch or candle. You see a variety of plants, vines clinging up the sides of the walls, a lot of plants not native to the desert but thriving here in this small biome, sheltered from the dry and desolate from outside the walls. You see a lot of individuals in their last stages of life, tired and worn. You see the beautiful sparks of life, ready to bring new life into this world. The temple branches out to a few different areas upon entry. You all enter into this large atrium greenhouse that domes upward. And the space is very large and welcoming, 50 feet in diameter roughly. And in the very center of this atrium, you see a half-orc man.
We met a very lovely temple attendant named Rai, an extremely kind artisan. He was performing a public ritual and allowed us to engage.
It is. Okay, so I'm gonna go over to the pink button bucket instead. And I'm gonna... Finn's gonna start trying to draw like snonk
Okay.
on the mandala. But he doesn't draw very well, so it's like a head.
You make a performance check. See how well you do here.
Okay. Did I roll? I don't think I did. Okay. Cool, so 8.
After this, we visited the garden. This is what I wanted Prearia to see the most, though it is different from the Crown Weaver's gardens back home. It is still very quiet and beautiful, and I thought, well, we heard the tail end of a sermon and the voices of the hymn keepers.
And you hear Slowly rising from the far corner of the temple, you hear a chorus of voices kind of rise up, and they sing, "Another bloom now fades away. The life you lived we praise this day. Your heart is full, you're not alone. From this place you now have flown. A kiss, a hug, your goodbye is grace. Find peace, dear one, in this long embrace." And their voices just kind of carry up and echo throughout. That last word, embrace, just kind of echoes throughout the entire temple.
There was a special service offered specifically at the Living Terrace that I was not personally familiar with. A central tenet of the Temple of Remblace is that one should not cling too dearly to life, nor run too greedily towards death. And that it is in accepting both things and loving them that is the true path of peace. The terrace had a sort of tea that you could drink that provided you with an experience. It helped you to address that which you were clinging to and that which you were running from, to help you reach catharsis, I believe. Finelai offered to try.
For this one, he sees himself on like a small piece of land in the middle of the ocean. And he sees his home at a distance. And he sees on the other side, there's like on the left, there's his home. And on the other side, like on the right, is his whole party, but also at a distance, like on larger pieces of land. And he is pretty much isolated, far, far away on his own tiny, tiny little piece, alone.
While Finelai was partaking, I spoke to Prearia.
My thought was only the temple at home is always very quiet, and I thought perhaps you might like some quiet for a time.
Oh, well, I'm not sure what the proselytize?
I am not trying to make you worship Remblace the way that I do.
Oh, well, not worry, I did not think, I have never been to a place like this. I don't think I would know what to do with a god if I had one. But...
Prearia is... well, I like her very much. I admire her. She reminds me of the voice of the seasons at home in the truth of her, I think. Finelai returned then, and then it was only fair, considering.
Blue mist coalesced almost like a pool of dark water coming up just onto her chin, like she's on, it almost feels like she's floating on the balls of her feet, and the water is up to her chin, and there is, comparatively to her in this moment, a much taller, very beautiful elven woman with dark skin, long curling hair, wearing a wreath of bay leaves and gladiolus and other flowers, very old, who smiles down at her and kisses her on the head and tells her that she loves her, and walks out into the pool away from her.
Meanwhile, back at the base, Ermir and Samson were having a pretty serious conversation. I don't know how I feel about the way Samson sees things, but I guess what he was saying makes some kind of sense.
What I do know is, at least the Sparrowhawks are supposed to have some semblance of honor.
Let me ask you, sir. Do you trust me?
Of course I do.
Then I hope you know that I would never put your dad in danger.
I believe you wouldn't put my dad in what you consider to be danger.
Look, to be fair, he's already in danger. We just want to keep him in, out of more danger. Does that make sense?
It does.
I did have the chance to speak to an elder at the temple, but there was no information there that they could in good faith share about Urmir's father or Hash or the man in the red coat. I enjoyed the visit to the temple, and I do hope that Finlay and Prearia got something from the experience as well, but we're nearing the end of time for such social outings. We all met up in time for a lunch. We got fondue. It was very lovely. We discussed what we had learned of Urmir's father, or what we had not learned, and what our next steps might be.
Hey, Hesperis, I think it's time for us to go. No, you go ahead, and I'll finish up here. So, here we are. Sable. The city under the sand. You know, if I'm being honest, which you know I always am, I think this is the most content that I have ever been with this party. And on top of that, I finally got to meet some more Sparrowhawks, and Genevieve? I think that's her name. You know, not to be that guy, but I think things might be starting to look up for me. Us. The party, I mean. Yes, the party. Anyway, the party has a lot of planning to do, and I don't want to miss whatever immoral schemes Samson and Finn have planned, so I gotta go. But catch up with us Monday, 7:30 Central. Find out what we decide to do, only on Fate's End. Hey! Guys, wait up! They will shoot you on sight if I'm not there.